Hey, Loop. Hey, Marie. Thanks for joining. Thanks for joining. How's it going? Thanks so much for joining my first live on TikTok. I'm very excited. You have a dare. Okay, what's that? Mike Giordano, hello. Brittany, hi. Johnny Country, you have a dare for me. Hold air in your cheeks and close nose for 10 seconds. I don't think I could do that. I might pass out on camera. Hi, Lexi. Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining my live. Thank you so much for coming. I appreciate it. Welcome to my first live for voiceover. Yes. The Real Deal 89, hello. Let me know, you guys, where you guys are calling from. Sorry, not calling, but joining from. Let me know where you're from. Stretch my lungs. Okay, well, maybe I might try it. Maybe a little bit later on. Diesel, hello. Shrimp PQC, hi. Playa del Carmen, Mexico, hello. Thank you for joining. Jean Talon, hello. Here's my son, everybody. Everybody, my pride and joy. You can say hello. You can wave. You can say hello. Hey. All right, honey. Mommy's got to work now. All right?
Oh, okay.
Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for joining. I'm going to be starting in a few minutes. Any questions that you have pertaining to voiceover, I'm happy to answer. I'm so happy that you guys are joining me. Thank you. Thank you so much. This is a first for me, so bear with me. I may or may not have technical difficulties, but I think I'm kind of set up right. And of course, I have something to drink. So if anybody's out there, let me know what it is that draws you to voiceover. What are your interests with regards to voiceover? Me, myself, I've been in voiceovers professionally since 2008. So, yeah. Doobie, hello. Hi, everybody. I didn't place a goal. Again, this is my first live. I don't know what to expect, so we'll see what happens. I'm just here to answer questions. How do you get VO work? Okay, Miriam Royale. Well, the way that you get VO work, Miriam, is first of all, you need to establish exactly what kind of voiceover artist you are. You have to have a demo. It pays to have training, although that's not required. But a demo, what is your voiceover style? Do you do accents, that kind of thing? And then, of course, you have to either get an agent or go the solo route and be an independent freelance voiceover artist, in which case you're going to need equipment and that sort of thing. You can also join voiceover marketplaces where you can upload your demo to get the attention of casting directors. Voiceover is actually great for, if you're going to live abroad, simply because wherever it is you are, it's just a question of having the right equipment with you. As long as you're traveling with your microphone, they have some travel size baffling, or if you don't even have baffling, sometimes people go in the closet of hotel rooms and that kind of thing. And, you kind of like make a shelter, if you will, over yourself to do a recording. So doing voiceovers abroad is actually cool. I've done it. I've done it while traveling. Miriam, tell me, you are an actress. What is your specialty? Drama, comedy? For training, is that fundamentally breath work like singers? For training, it does involve some kind of breath work, but mostly with training, we're talking about reading, Reading a lot, we're talking about listening to yourself, recording yourself while you're reading things, minding your cadence, your pace, your enunciation, and your tone and inflection. So all of those kinds of things have to come into play when you're doing voiceover work. Breathing is actually part of it, obviously, because sometimes when you get hired for voiceover jobs, there will be run-on sentences, and you do have to practice breathing from your diaphragm in order to read the lines. But mostly it's about, I think for me, the best thing that I've done for myself is to record myself reading different types of literature or text and listening to myself, listening to the cadence, matching the style of my voice to whatever it is that I'm reading, whether it be drama, comedy, authoritative, that kind of thing. You have an off-Broadway show in May. Congratulations. Congratulations. That's amazing. Wow. Awesome. Tell me about the show. Oh, you're so welcome. You're very welcome. Any other questions you have, please, fire away. Oh, I would be excited too. Congrats. Well, the fact that you're actually in acting is a really, it's a plus for you because they don't call it voice acting for nothing. You know, a lot of times when you are reading text or copy for a client, it requires you to don certain moods and certain feelings. Acting class has helped me enormously with that. So tell me, Miriam, what is it about voiceover that is making you think of getting into it? For me, it's always been a question of wanting to be in the performing arts. Before I started in voiceover, rather, I had started taking acting classes. This is when I lived in Montreal, Quebec. And I loved being in acting classes. I loved my classmates. I was doing scene study. I anticipate needing prep for my place for recordings. You mentioned baffling. What is that? Okay, baffling is, you know, this kind of thing. You see this here? This is made of foam. This is foam baffling. And what baffling does is it absorbs sound when you are recording. Typically when you, oh, my baffling is falling. Typically when you record, you want a good clean sound. You don't want echo in the room. So baffling helps with absorbing sound so that when you're speaking, it's not like echo, 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 echo. It kind of like contains the sound. So baffling, it could be foam, it could be wool blankets. It could be, you know, if you're going to the DIY route, blankets, like foam from even like a mattress, comforters. I've used comforters. I've used towels. I've used a whole bunch of stuff. Now, of course, I use professional, you know, baffling to help. Greetings, Sylvie, from the land of 40 Shades of Green, otherwise known as Ireland. Yay! Wow, hello. Thank you. Greetings. Thank you for being here. Oh, my goodness. Hey, Tales of Gardem. How you doing, Batsu? Ooh, see, I'm so excited. I'm moving my camera. How you doing? Thanks for joining. Thanks for joining. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Tales of Gardem, everybody. If you like Nightskin's content, head on over to his page. He is great. I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. You know what I'm saying? My first live, so hey. I'm just, I'm out here. I'm out here. CZMC, nice to see you flourishing. Thank you so much. You know, I am doing my very best to, you know, lead my life by design. So, you know, one of my, you know, bucket list things for this year is to just kind of really put myself out there because you know what, in life, you just, if you don't do it, who's going to do it? Who's going to do it for you? Nobody. You have to, the onus is on you. So thank you so much for that. My fave voiceover. Well, I like voiceover. What do you mean? Like my fave voiceover style or my favorite voiceover artist? Let me know. Be specific. This is my first Shameless Elle. Hey girl, this is my first live. Welcome. It's my first live. No more red lipstick and tank tops. Ha ha ha. Thank God. Oh, my favorite voiceover style. Well, my favorite voiceover style is, it's kind of like the thing that I'm known for, and it's the kind of narration authoritative thing. My voice registers very low, so I tend to get jobs that involve me speaking like this and letting you know that in 1993. Yeah, so narrative, authoritative, that's my favorite style. I have not seen any other, oh no, I haven't seen any of your other comments. Shameless Elle, please let me know. Miriam, so if I equip my place with baffling and a great mic, I'm good? Yes, the baffling is key. Make sure that when you are speaking, there aren't any echoes going around. The sound needs to be absorbed by the baffling. Very, very important. People and customers, they're going to want quality recordings from you. So yes, you can go on Amazon for that, by the way. Shameless Elle, I just said, I love to ask you some questions. Would you be up for going live together? Oh my goodness. I would love that. How do I do that? Let me know how I do that. Tell me how to do that. It's even good to hear you describe your own voice acting. Great info. Miriam, I'm very happy that you appreciate this. The truth of the matter is, I believe that voiceover for me, it has changed my life. It has changed my life in such a way that I'm a mom. I'm the primary caregiver to my child, and voiceover has really kind of opened up my sense of independence and freedom. I don't have a conventional job. I haven't had one in actually 2 years. Knock on wood. Now, I'm not knocking the 9 to 5, but it's been good. Voiceover has been good to me enough that I don't need a conventional job. Well, not yet anyway. So I haven't had a conventional job in over 2 years. Kindly walk the brother through the steps from 0 to first VO gig, please. All right. So thank you for joining Good Seed Nutrition Co. All right. Let me give you the really fast Coles notes. Step 1, figure out what you're going to do. Do you want representation or do you want to be freelance? Two different things, completely different things. You could be a hybrid, but figure that out. Step 2, think about acting classes, okay? You're going to need to learn how to emote and give certain feelings and moods to the read. 3, practice a lot. Practice, 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 and when you're done, practice some more. You need to record yourself listening. You need to be listening to yourself. You need to be listening to your tone and pace and cadence and pronunciations and all of that kind of stuff. Make a demo. 5, make a demo. All right, 4, I don't know where I'm at. Make a demo. Make a demo that sounds professional. If you could afford it, get somebody professional to produce a demo for you, no more than a minute and a half. The fake commercials need to sound like actual commercials. That's why I'm suggesting you get somebody professional to do it. And then of course you got to market yourself. Depending on which branch you're going to get into, whether it's freelance or whether it's representation, you have to let people know what it is that you do. You got to let them know. And if it's going the route of an agent, you have to send materials to agencies, which is a demo, to let them know who you are and what you're about. If you're going freelance, you have to go the other route, go to marketplaces, plenty of voiceover marketplaces, such as Voice123, Voices.com, etc. Hi Kalechi, how you doing? What initial goals do you set when you started? Did you start while working 9 to 5? Yes, I started while working a 9 to 5. My goal basically was initially I just wanted to be in acting class. I just wanted to express myself creatively because I was in a 9 to 5 that was crushing me. So initially it wasn't even about getting into voiceover. I was in acting, as in like acting in front of a camera acting. But I came to quickly find that I didn't like acting in front of the camera. So when my instructor told me that I had a good voice and thought that I should go into voiceover, I did. So I already had the training of the acting. And so when I got into voiceover, I really liked it. I took to it like a fish to water. Then I started to find out how much money potentially I could make. And so I decided to pursue it more fervently. And at the time I was in Montreal and nothing was going on for me, job-wise or career prospect-wise, I moved to Toronto. And that was the best decision I made. So my initial goal was just to express myself creatively. It turned into voiceover, and now voiceover is literally my meat and potatoes. Practice, demo, market self, get agent, yes. Very good, Miriam. That is it. Practice, demo, and figure out, again, I can't stress enough, you guys, you have to figure out whether or not you're going to go the representation route, which is my route. I am represented talent. Or the freelance route, which is you have more freedom and the money that you make is 100% yours, but it's a lot more grunt work. Now I'm glad I asked. Now I'm glad I asked. So yes, people think that voiceover is literally just talking, getting a piece of a script. Oh, here we go. Decline, accept. Okay, I'm going to accept. Boop. Hey! Yay!
Hi, Sylvie.
It
How
was
are you?
Woo! How are you?
I'm good. How are you? Girl, I mean, it was just so funny, because we did that duet together. Well, not duet, I guess stitch. And then I feel like we've kind of been friends like since then, commenting and so it's so nice to talk to you. How are you?
I am doing great. I'm flying by the seat of my pants.
I
Sorry, just
I
a
can't
quick
believe I
question
caught
I
your
want to
first
answer
live.
to Miriam. Let me just answer a quick question for
Yeah, yeah.
Miriam. How do I get an agent? Miriam, the way you get an agent is first of all, you need a demo. You need to have a demo. Okay. Then you have to Google in your town agencies. Okay. Okay. Talent management. Ask them if their roster is expanding. If their roster is expanding, you may, send a demo. If their roster isn't expanding, or you could go ahead and send one unsolicited, and then they'll let you know whether or not they are accepting new talent. But you have to look up talent agencies in your town, talent management agencies, and you have to submit your demo.
So
Yes.
I just want to introduce you because I've got a good amount of people in here now.
Oh,
This is Sylvie, you guys, and she's a voiceover artist. And
hi, everybody.
we ended up doing a stitch together. If you guys seen it, it was that stupid guy that was like, if it ain't
We
if
all,
it ain't
yeah,
snowing, we ain't going.
ain't
And
going.
Sylvie's like, go, the white women can have you. I'm like, no, no, thank you, we are good. Anyways, but so Sylvie's a voiceover artist, and I'm really excited that I caught your first live because I want to hear what you're saying, and I want to like share it because I know a lot of people are really like interested in doing voiceover, and I'm a bit interested myself. I've had like a few people say like they'd love to like hear me do uh audiobooks, like read
Yeah.
audiobooks or something. So I want to yeah, I mean, you have the floor. Like,
All
answer
right.
the
Well, listen.
questions that you've got, and I'll let you know if I have some questions. If you guys have questions, I'll let her know what you're asking because she can't see my comments.
All right. So if you want to do audiobooks, what I suggest you do, first of all, is again, for audiobooks, there's different ways you can go about it. If,
Okay.
like I said, if you want representation, which is the route that I took,
Okay.
and I happen to be with one of the top agencies in Toronto. So,
Are you Canadian?
yes, I live in Toronto.
Oh shit! I didn't know you were Canadian. I just
I
I
am.
I assume everybody's American.
Girl, I'm in Etobicoke. I'm in
I'm in
Etobicoke.
I'm in British Columbia.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
But the thing is that I knew you were Canadian, though. I knew you were
Oh,
Canadian.
did you? Okay.
Um, I did, but yeah, no, I live in Toronto, and yeah, I've been living here for a hot minute. I did a lot of back and forth with Montreal,
Okay.
but I'm in Toronto now. Like that's it. But anyways, back to your question for audiobooks.
Yeah.
If you want to do audiobooks, the way to go about it is, first of all, again, if you're going the agency route, their job is to be a broker between agencies that are seeking audiobook narrators or whatever,
Okay.
and basically you.
Okay.
If you if you want to do audiobooks, but you want to be your like a free agent, let's say you wanted to be a voiceover, but a free agent, right? You're not represented.
Yeah.
Because what happens with representation is it's great. You
They
have
take
an
the money.
agent actually looking for work for you,
Yeah.
and then he sends you auditions. But when you get paid, before you even see a drop of money, the agency gets a cut, you have to pay taxes, then you get a paycheck. So it's minus however the agency, sometimes it's 15 or 20%, okay, off the top.
Yeah.
Then whatever HST, whatever GST, tax, and then the rest is yours.
Right.
Okay, you do not control when you get paid. There are how do I say? There's net 30 pay terms, net 60. I've waited as long as 90 days to get paid for stuff.
Can you
Okay.
can you tell me what would somebody get paid to do that? Like I really have no idea about anything with this stuff. Like
So
what
audiobooks, I don't do a lot of audiobooks
okay.
because when it comes to voiceover, it depends on like the usage and the market. So
Okay.
think of it like this. If I do an audiobook for somebody who's doing let's say you're doing an audiobook for a children's book.
Okay.
You will get paid a flat rate,
Okay.
or you can get paid a percentage of sales. So it gets
Oh,
to be pretty, like, you know what I mean? Like you have to, I don't have actual numbers, but I'll give you a little example where I did get offered to do an audiobook for $1,000. But it was for about anywhere between, I want to say it was like about 4 or 5,000 words. It was $1,000. That's equivalent to about 10 to 15 pages of just reading.
yeah.
So that's $1,000 and that's it. No percentage of sales or whatever. So you have to sit there and you got to read 10 to 15 pages in not sometimes in one sitting, sometimes in a few sittings. So it depends on the usage and like the market.
Is that
So
good? Is like $1,000 for 10 to 15 pages good?
it's not bad,
Okay.
it's okay. It's not
Um,
great. It's not my favorite. Go ahead.
I'm just going to ask you. So AF Vet here was just asking, do you have to go to a studio or can you set up a home studio? But it looks like you have a home studio, right?
So yeah, so I have a home studio, but I use mine is it's a mini, very generic, general home studio. I do this mostly for my personal projects and also for auditioning, because when you're auditioning, you want to send quality auditions. So you don't want to be using your phone to audition for stuff, which I used to do.
Yeah.
We all have to go through our levels, right? I used to use my phone. There's an app, by the way, for DIYers. There's an app on you can use an audio app, and you use it to record stuff. And then I would send that to agents. However, I have a little mini home studio, which includes my little mic, my little Rode mic. I have my laptop here. I've got a laptop, and I've got also I've hold on. So I've got an audio interface also.
What is
So
that?
what I did is I bought a kit here. I was ready for this question. So I bought a kit. Okay.
Okay, just one sec. I'm going to screenshot that.
Yeah.
If you guys are interested in doing voiceover, maybe just take a second and screenshot this kit that she's if you're just getting into it. I'm really curious about this. I've got a lot of people in here. There's like 200 people in here, Sylvie, that are like paying attention
Wow.
to what you're saying. I think what you do is really, really interesting for a lot of people.
Oh, that's great. I'm glad to hear it.
Yeah, that's good, Sylvie. I think that's probably good.
Okay.
Probably got it. Yeah.
So yeah, so this is the kit that I bought. I went to a music store. You can get it on Amazon, and I
Okay.
bought the kit because you know what? I'm not a technical genius, and I didn't want to buy this piece over here and that piece over there.
Right.
Me, I'm about, you know what I'm saying? Like it's about kits. So this kit, now I'm pretty much set up to do, I'm not set up to do broadcast quality. This is not broadcast quality voiceovers. I'm not gonna if Coca-Cola comes knocking, I'm not using this. I'm
Okay.
going to an actual, I'm going to an actual studio. But what this does is it helps out, first of all, the DIYers, and it helps out people who are maintaining basically their maintaining your voiceover because of the mic that I use, which is a Rode. It's a very good quality mic. It works with my voice very well. So it records very good, not necessarily broadcast quality, but
Yeah.
it's high. It's high. It's a high end microphone and it records very well. So what I use this for is when I audition for stuff for my agent, I use this with my setup
Yeah.
and I send my auditions to him and they sound quality. They don't sound like I talked into a phone, which
Okay.
is what I used to do. So this now, if you wanted to be a freelance voiceover, I'm in love with a keep it easy kid. Yes, Miriam, keep it easy. Listen, work smart, not hard. Okay. So this here will do quality recordings. But if you have like super big important jobs, like I'm talking Canadian Tire or whatnot, well, anyways, they're
You
not
go
they're
to a
not
studio.
going they're not going they're not going the independent route anyways.
Yeah.
If you want to do big name companies, you need an agent. You absolutely need an agent.
So
For all other
what does it cost you to do a studio? Like you like rent time in a studio and then you just go in
Yeah,
and
so if you wanted to go to a studio, a lot of studios start at the lower end studios might start at like maybe 45, $50 an hour,
yeah.
and it could go higher than that, depending on what it is that you need. Now I remember one time I this is before I even had any of this. I needed to audition for uh, a CBC historical documentary, 10-part series. I ended up getting that job, but when I auditioned for it, they wanted a studio quality audition.
Yeah.
At the time, I didn't have anything. So I had to, on the Craigslist, and, I went on Craigslist actually, and I looked up studio, and I found this wonderful, wonderful local studio that was like charging me $30 an hour. And I went in there. I had my audition script. It was just like 2 paragraphs. And I went in there and the guy knew what to do. And it was $30 an hour. And then my agency paid for the time
Right.
because the audition was that important that
Wow.
they didn't want me to, they didn't want me to speak from the phone. They said, go to a studio, we'll pay for it. Because at the time, believe it or not, I lived in Montreal, but I was still represented by my agency in Toronto. And
Okay.
they wanted me, this is for the brief stint that I was in Montreal, and they wanted me to audition for this. And so they paid for me to go, I paid initially and then I got refunded by my agency for the studio time. So
Right.
in instances where you need, you know what I'm saying, like uber professional stuff, there are studios. I'm not talking about the studio that Drake records at,
Yeah.
but you know what I'm saying? Like there are studios that you could find where dudes are like, yo, man, $30 an hour, $40 an hour. And they're good. You know what I mean? And they do good work. You know what I'm saying? So think about that as well. It really, really helps to know what your resources are because voiceover, even though it could be potentially lucrative, it's not the cheapest thing to get into.
Right.
Yes, there is a relatively low barrier of entry nowadays.
Okay.
because there's voiceover marketplaces that anybody could, put their demo on and bid for work.
Okay.
Um, However, it's important to note that you have to figure out as a voiceover artist what you want your career to be. Do you want to be just the person that does the answering machines for people? Do you just want to do like accents? What if you do accents, British accent or whatever? What if you want to do like, you have to figure out what your style is.
I feel
Start.
like I feel like the only thing that like people ask me for this, but like
Yeah.
I know this is terrible, but I feel like the only thing that I'm gonna be good at maybe doing is like reading like sexy books or something like that,
Well,
which
you know what?
I'm not sure I want
Listen.
to do.
I will tell you this. First of all, what is your name? It's Elle. It's Elle.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
keep saying, what's your name? Shameless Elle. Elle. Okay. Um, Elle, there is a market for everything. You
What do
want to
you
do
think
sexy
what do
pillow
you think
talk?
I'm good at?
I think that first of all, I think that when I'm listening to you talk, I feel you being you. I think that you can do kind of like that kind of quirky, sexy pillow talk.
Yeah.
I feel like your voice is like conversational, conversational. What's the word? Like it's like like your girlfriend talking to you.
Okay.
Like it's very conversational. Like you have the kind of voice that invites people to be like, yeah, I believe what she's saying. She sounds like my girlfriend. And I feel like your audience members feel that way about you. You're the girl. Like you're their friend. You know what I mean? And when you speak, I feel like you kind of like you exude that energy like, hey, buy this thing because it's cool and because I said it's cool.
I
For
love your
real.
voice though. It's just you've got such a like there's like authority in your voice. I don't know how to say it. Like you've got this like very strong voice, and it's really not a voice that you hear very often, which is, makes sense why you're this voiceover artist, because you've just got that like like even like the trailer of a movie, like I could see you like introducing like the trailer of a movie or something. You've got that like really strong voice, and I honestly I've never been sure if it's something I want to do, and it just kind of feels so over my head, like I don't know anything about it, that I've never truly
This
what
is
it
what I
is.
think. I think that anybody who has a sincere interest in voiceover can do it because, voiceover is something that, again, you know how they say it takes all kinds to make a world? It takes all voices to have a VO community. I marvel at people who do voices for South Park or for The Simpsons. I love that. Like I wish that I could do that, but that's not my thing. You know what I mean? My style, my voice style is what you hear. Like I found I am that authoritative, trusting figure. Like this is 2020. That's me.
Yeah,
Like that's me.
I could
However,
totally see you doing
you know what I
that.
mean? Like I have definitely I have um, I have definitely evolved over the time because I think at first um, I started to do voiceovers where I'm just kind of like buy this car, buy this beer, da 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 da, or sexy also. You know what I mean? But now that I've been in this business as long as I have, I've learned to stretch myself. I've also taken extra voice classes to kind of stretch, because in any career, you want to kind of like, you want to evolve, you want to get
Yeah.
better. I don't want to just be known as this voice. And I have done animated series. I've done a few animated series. I've done a few video games. I've done audiobooks for children, you know.
Oh,
Um, so I think that it's finding what your style is
yeah.
and then practicing, because voiceover really and truly is, it's a lot of practicing and practicing reading everything and recording yourself so you could see and hear, okay, what is your style? Is this my style? Oh, I didn't like the way that sounded. Oh, let me try reading this.
The
You know what I
read
mean?
part is the part that I'm like, do I want to read for a living? I don't know if I want to read for a
Well,
living.
that's a thing too, right? Like you have to like there's so many nuances to voiceover that people need to realize that yes, okay, I could walk in a booth and for 1 hour and get paid $5,000. Sorry, hold on. And you can, which has happened. You know, however, there's so many other things to consider also with voiceover.
Yeah.
There's a lot of reading, and depending on what it is that you're doing, because I'm not the person. I used to be the person that used to just read one-liners. Buy this car, Coke is it, blah 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 blah, and it would be like, and $2,000. But as of late, with the advent of e-learning, there's a lot of like e-learning, a lot of like books, textbooks, and educational
Uh,
literature and reading that I have to just sit there and like it's killing me because the copy is so dry, like, and then you turn the page and scientific 1.2.9, that like it kills me. Like when I do e-learning kills me
yeah.
because I find it's just so flat and dry. I'm like, "Ah," you know, but it's part of the job. It's doing this and doing that. And the
Yeah.
more you're able to do, the better your prospects to make money. So,
Wow.
but if you want to be the person that's just, look, I'm just an audiobook girl, that's all I do, that's all I want, I just want to do this, then that's cool. Then you can start reading and finding things in that vein that you're good at, and then
Yeah.
you practice, and then you make a demo, and then you put yourself out there like, I hire me for this. You know what I mean? And but you have to make a space for that so that people can recognize you for that as well.
Right.
But voiceover is a very, can you suggest changes? Can you suggest changes to the script? What do you mean by that, Miriam? Can you changes to the script?
I think she means
What?
changes to like what they're sending you. Like if somebody,
Okay. So yeah, I get what you're saying. Yes. Thank you, Elle. So when you're getting script from people, if there are obvious grammatical errors, absolutely mention it to them. But do not say, yeah, no, this is all wrong and the theme is not good. And, I think you should do. Never that. Never that. In fact, when you're in the booth and you're recording, keep your mouth shut. If you're asked your opinion on something, you can mention something. Do not alter their script. You can suggest, like, okay, do you want me to say data or data? You can say things like that. But
oh,
the mood, the way that it's written, if a sentence is run on, it's a slippery slope because clients usually don't like to be told what to do because they're the client. So you can make suggestions for grammatical errors and how to pronounce certain words. But to change the script, no, no, you don't do that. Sky Blue Eyes 111, thank you, Sylvie. You are a shining star and always honest and keep it fun. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. Hey, Verbal Expressions, how you doing, girl? How you doing? So yes, Elle, to back to your point. Um, find out what style of voiceover you want to do. There are
I
so
honestly
many styles to
I
think
want
of,
to or
right?
not. Yeah. I'm not sure if I want to or not. Like I'm very curious about it, but I guess it's like I know that it's a good amount of investment in not just your time, but also financially and all of those things. But there's a huge part of me that wants to be able to work remotely. So anything that could allow me to do that is very interesting to me. But I guess I just like, when I hear your voice, I think, yeah, of course she's a voiceover artist. Like that's amazing. I have trouble like pronouncing certain things, and I often get asked like if I have um an accent because I don't pronounce my R's very well, and so there's part of me that's like I don't know if I would actually be good at that. or if it's just because I do these duets where I'm like, ooh, ah, like doing these stupid, like drooling over men kind of videos. That's where I get these comments from, where guys, are saying like, oh yeah, you should read some naughty books, like you should do that. That would be amazing. And I'm not sure if it's just because because they think that it'll have the same kind of vibe, but yeah. So I don't know.
Well,
I find,
you know what, Elle? I think that again, like I said, it takes all kinds to be, to do the voiceover, to be part of the voiceover community. There are some people that you might, look at, like again, the woman that does Marge Simpson.
yeah,
Like, think about that. Like, her voice is kind of like scraggly and really rough, and you're just like, wow, like this woman got a job with
yeah,
her voice.
yeah,
And I think about it, and so it's kind of like, I feel like there's a place for everyone, but you have to figure out and also be come to terms with what voiceover entails.
right,
And voiceover entails a lot of practice. It entails reading. It entails interpreting a script, because when you're in the booth and when it's kind of like being able to adapt on the fly. For
okay,
instance, I'll give you an example. So I just recently did a commercial for McDonald's. I don't even know if it's out yet. It was supposed to be on Spotify. If any of y'all hear a spicy McNuggets McDonald's commercial on Spotify, that's me. Anyway, getting that out of the way. Um, when I was doing that commercial, initially I was asked to record it like Siri. They
you do,
wanted me to sound
you sound like Siri.
They wanted me to sound robotic, like very, like no feeling, like, buy these chicken McNuggets only at McDonald's, right? So it was like, they wanted it like that. When I auditioned, I sounded like that. But then when I got to the studio, they told me, yeah, the client changed their mind. So they don't want Siri. They want you to be friendly family friendly. You're like the girl next door.
Yeah,
And so automatically I had to, like, right there and then in the booth, I had to reprogram myself and like, blah, 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 okay, remove the Siri thing
yeah,
and start speaking like, uh, just, hey, how's it going? Buy these spicy chicken McNuggets only at McDonald's. And I had to just switch it. So voiceover is that. And that's why I encourage anybody to take, if there's a voiceover workshop, take it.
yeah,
You have to learn how to, some people have natural talent, and that's cool. But I find, like, I definitely took acting school. I went to acting school. I took voiceover workshops also, just so that I can really, um, you know, do my job well. For me, it was about doing the job well.
hey, I
And
interrupt you for 1 second. If you guys have questions, right? Because I'm missing a few questions here, Sylvie, for you. If you
okay,
have questions, go over to Sylvie's live. And then also, like, I'll only stay on for just a few more minutes. And then you guys make sure you follow her. Go over to Sylvie's live and ask her the questions that you have. Because I think there's a lot of people that have some questions for you. Also, some guy said you worked with his wife in Phoenix, his ex-wife in Phoenix. And you went on a hike in Phoenix in the summer. So he wants to tell you all about the hike and his ex-wife. So make sure you go over to Sylvie's page there so you can tell her about your ex-wife. Um, okay. Anyways, that was all I wanted to interrupt. But if you guys have questions, there's like tap Sylvie's little thing there, and then go over to her page, and you can go into her live because she can't see the comments here. Anyways, that's all I wanted to say.
so yeah, so it's really important to figure out, in terms of voiceover, what your goal, like, what is your goal, like, what is your goal in voiceover for real? What is
Yeah.
it that you want?
Oh, I was just saying, like, I had no idea that there was all of these options. Like, I thought voiceover, and I don't know what I thought. Like, I thought audiobooks, and I thought, maybe like certain commercials or something. But like, yeah, but what you're listing here, I didn't quite realize there was as many options as there is. But
There
uh,
are, let me just tell you, in the voiceover, there are tons of options. There's audiobooks, commercials. That's like kind of like press 1 for English, press 2 for French. That's ABR, right?
I could do that.
Um,
Do that
I've
for
done that. Yes. Yeah, I've done that. There's not much that I haven't done in voiceover. There's radio ads, video games, there's dubbing. So when movies play in a different language, if I'm dubbing a movie, that's originally English and French, because I speak French, then I'm recording stuff in French, right?
so you're doing
So
a
whenever,
hobby.
yeah. So
That's
again, a lot of reading. It's a lot of reading. So voiceover, that's what I love about voiceover. Is there a way that someone could get an idea of where their voice fits best? Hi, Ray, by the way. Thank you for joining. My voice coach hears Scott Brick for me, but I struggle with long form reads. Okay, Ray. So my thing is this. If there's an area of voiceover where you feel like you're not really strong, definitely try different scripts. Like if you Google online voiceover scripts, actually, I think voices.com has a lot of free scripts that you can actually practice reading at. Because I feel you. Sometimes for me, I don't, I struggle with long reads as well. Because again, as of late, I've been doing a lot of e-learning modules. It's long form, it's long. And I'm used to reading short lines like, buy this now. So it's a struggle for me. But I've learned that if I just practice, and if it's something that I'm willing to learn, I'm just going to learn it. So again, I mean no disrespect by comparison, but your voice reminds me of Aisha Tyler, Lana Kane from our. You know what? No disrespect, none taken. You know what? I get compared to a lot of different women. My voice gets compared to Viola Davis, Oprah Winfrey.
does kind of sound like Oprah Winfrey. Yeah,
I'll
I could
take
do
it.
that.
Yeah. But yeah, no, my voice gets compared to a lot of women, a lot of great women, and I don't mind that, but understand, I'm not emulating these people. This is my voice. This is seriously my voice. Like, this is how I talk.
Can I ask
Um,
a question?
yeah,
And let me know if this is totally like inappropriate.
yeah.
What's the most that you've ever gotten paid for like doing voiceover?
So okay, so the most, okay, so again, different styles. So I think the highest grossing pay that I got for like saying one line and literally one line only was $5,000 for less than an hour in a studio. And that was, yeah, that was for Stella Artois.
What is that?
Stella,
Oh,
the beer,
beer.
Stella. Yeah, yeah. So, but understand, that would have been triple, quadruple the amount had I been union. That was a non-union gig.
How do you become union?
Again, you have to be represented. You have to be with an agency, and
Okay.
you have to work. You have to get chosen for union jobs, which is difficult to do because union only works with union, right? They only hire union. But in an instance in which they've auditioned everybody in the union for a particular job, if they don't find anybody in the union for that job, they will look into the non-union pool. And
Oh,
that's where you come in. And that's where you can get chosen to, work a union gig, pay your union permit, and then work the job.
okay.
So yeah, so union work is, and that's another, again, not to further confuse things, but that's yet another, um, another aspect of voiceover to think about. Are you going to stay non-union, or do you want to join the union?
Is there?
So,
I'm a little confused. Is when you say union or non-union, is that
mhm.
the represented or not represented?
No. So if you're, well, actually, yes, in a way. So if you're represented talent, typically what the agency wants for you to do is to become union because that's where the money is,
Okay.
right? For instance, I'll give you an example. Um, the Stella Artois commercial that I did, that was non-union, right? And I got paid once. That was it. Just
Okay.
once. It was a flat rate. That's it. Had that been a union job, every time it played, because at the time it played in the theater, it played on TV, it played online. So then we're getting into usage, right? And
Okay.
every single time it played in whatever medium, I would get a residual. I would get residuals every time it played.
So how much would that end up being? Like what
Oh
would
my God. I can't even say, but probably in the 30,000s, maybe even higher
for one line?
for one line. But because it's getting played in theaters, it's getting played on TV, it's getting played. That's how actors get their money, residuals. You know, the guy that played, you know, in Friends episodes, you know, Jennifer Aniston is probably still getting paychecks for Friends because every time it plays wherever, she gets a paycheck.
Wow.
It's called residual income.
I need residual income. I like that. I love I love that. That sounds amazing.
Sorry, Howard. One question here. Sky Blue Eyes. If financially can't do acting class to start, any advice where to start for reading? I would highly suggest you go to voices.com. They have um, they have free scripts that you can download and practice on. And so download those scripts, practice them, or you can even Google free voiceover scripts and find those scripts and practice them and record yourself practicing them. You
Can
have to listen to yourself.
before I go, can you like how you're mentioning the voices.com, can you give like a list of like steps that you should do to get into voiceover acting? I'm just gonna write it down.
Okay, so all right. So number one, again, think of voiceover workshops or classes. That's
Okay.
number one. Okay. Two, and I do have, by the way, for anybody who thinks that because this live is not going to, I don't think it's gonna. Is this gonna record? I don't know. Is this gonna record? No.
Sometimes when you do dual lives, it doesn't record as well, but
Okay.
it sometimes it can. So you can after it usually takes a little while to like download, but then you go into like your creator tab, and then you go into like the your live replays, and you go into
Okay.
replay and download it.
Okay, I'll look into that. But guys, for anybody who wants just a quick kind of like review, the Cole's notes on how to get into voiceover, go to my profile. There's a pinned post on how to get into voiceover. But quickly, voiceover class, um, practice reading, practice everything, practice all kinds of genres of reading, make a demo, do pro bono work, do stuff for free. Listen, I know everybody's going to come for me in the comments talking about why am I going to work for free, blah, blah, blah. Listen, sometimes you got to work for peanuts to get the experience. If you don't, you know, if you're just starting out, you got to start somewhere. So if somebody's, you can either work for very little or for free. This opens doors. So pro bono work, very important because you can also add, you can add these projects to your demo reel. They could be part of your demo reel. So doing stuff for free, yes, Claudia, very good. You build connections as well. So, and you can network. Okay. And then number 5 is promote yourself. Don't forget to market yourself. Get on LinkedIn, get on TikTok. Look what I'm doing now. You know, get on your Instagram, make a page, get your stuff out there. This is what I do. Get your demo. Your demo is, I'm telling you guys, your demo is very important. So I think it was number 3 in there, but it's a very important component. Where do we start looking for who would be, where do we start looking for who would be looking? Okay, so look to voices.com, voices.com, voice123.com. is a great resource for voiceover jobs, voiceover articles. Okay, sorry I joined late. When will your next Q&A be? Woo! I gotta breathe, girl. I gotta breathe. But I will definitely be having another one very soon, and I have to have another one because I have one of my mutuals who was really wanting to be on this, and he's like, "Oh, it's this time didn't work for him." So I'm gonna try to do maybe maybe a Q&A, but like later. Stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for that. Follow me. You got. Oh my God, it's already an hour. An hour has gone by. Woo!
I had to
Woo!
say, before you go, can you do
Yes.
the voice that you'd use if your child was misbehaving in church? I don't know about you, but mine would be like, it wouldn't even be a voice. It'd be like,
Yeah. That. Listen, I'm black. All my mother needed to do for me is give me a look, and
yeah.
this is the look, and this is my look.
My dad used to sit with his hands on the pews like this, with his
Uh-huh.
hands around our shoulders, and it looked like really sweet, but like he would literally like pull these little hairs at the
A little
back.
baby hair.
It like, yeah. Like he didn't say anything, and then he whoop our ass. Like if we were misbehaving, we'd go home, and then like he whoop our ass like real bad.
All right. Well, listen. My goodness, it's two o'clock already.
Thanks for having me
I'm
on.
gonna.
Let me give you a
I
minute
gotta.
yourself, with your followers and stuff. So thank you so much, guys. If you haven't followed Sylvie, like click that little button there before I go, because I'm gonna hang up, and then you're gonna have to try and find her on your own. So if you're interested, click that button, and then you can go.
Elle, thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining me on this live. I'm so grateful for you, and thank you so much for hopping on. I'm glad that I'm glad that we met each other.
Oh,
I
me too.
hope I answered your questions. And if you have more than just, holler at a girl.
I'm gonna text you. I'm gonna text you, and you know what? If I'm in Toronto, we're going for coffee.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Thank you. Take care. Take care. All right, everybody, that is it for me. 2 o'clock has come and gone. I want to thank everybody who has joined this live. Thank you, everybody who has come, to join. I really appreciate your participation. I hope I've answered some questions. Please give me a follow. I will be providing more tips and tricks for the voiceover industry. And, stay tuned for that. Thank you so much for coming. And until next time, y'all. Bye.